Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show, go to patreon.com/JoshuaVelas and become a $2 backer today and get early access to the new episodes. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below, but for now, on to today's episode. You're listening to the Augmented Experience podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Joshua Velas. I'm a student, musician, and a gamer at heart. Join me as I sit down every week to talk about all the latest news in the technology, business, and video game world. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. My name is Joshua Velas. I'm your host as usual. And obviously, welcome back to the show. Today's about 248 of the show. Before we get started, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping real quick because, well, we haven't done this in a while. To be honest, it's been like, three, almost 4 weeks since we've done this show, almost a month. And you guys are probably wondering, is this homie dead? Is he alive? I'm like, yeah, we kind of just went MIA for a little bit. But let's just address the house clean before we get on to the fun stuff, you know? But I do want to say thank you guys for coming back and listening to today's episode. It does mean a lot to me that you guys constantly take time in your days to download these episodes, to share these episodes, to constantly keep letting me know how you feel, whether you like my stupid face or not, or my opinions or not, because at the end of the day, it's all greatly appreciated. I do want to say thank you to Patreon backers as well for supporting the show. You guys are greatly appreciated as well. And to be honest, this episode is going to be more of a real talk. Not because I don't want to talk about, things going on in tech space, whether it be the new smartphones coming out, new earbuds coming out, whether it be, some rumors, leaks, whether it be the video game space, because trust me, we've had a lot of video game news happening, whether it be with the Activision Blizzard deal, dealing with all that jazz, or, new video games coming out, leaks coming out for said video games. So much stuff like new hardware, like the PSVR 2 dropping, the DualSense Edge controller, so much stuff has happened. But I want to take this time and just really talk about what's been going on. And of course, I apologize because my little dog over here thought it was a bright idea to play with the little squeaky toy. So I'm like, I apologize in advance for that. But a lot has happened, if I'm being honest with you, in this past month, because I basically just went MIA. Granted, if you follow me on social media, you know that, well, I've obviously been busy, but, I've kind of put the show on the back burner, and I'll just be transparent with you guys. This is a bit of a life update, and me just explaining what's been happening, what have I been dealing with, struggling with, and things like that. I'll just be transparent with y'all. It's been a bit rough, I'll be honest with you. I was pretty stressed starting off the semester just because, last semester, so trying to deal with that whole senioritis, trying to adjust with my new classes, my final classes, like my business economics, financial management, capstone project, etc., etc. And to be honest, school kind of was kicking me in the dick a little bit. I'll be transparent with you. Basically, on my first exam for financial management, I got a 54, and that sucked. I'll just be honest with you, that really sucked. Granted, some people say, it's normal, it's expected, because it's the first exam in that class. A lot of people told me, hey, bud, it's okay. Everyone's going to do bad on the first exam just because it's all conceptual rather than math-based and things like that, which, we'll talk about it a little bit later. And then same thing with my business economics, I got a 78, which is not terrible, but I wanted to do better on that. I don't know what I did wrong, but we'll figure it out. Some of my other classes I've done really well, primarily my CRM class. I did really well on the first exam, so I'm very happy about that. And then same thing with financial management. I just got an 88 on the exam that I actually, at the time I was recording, I took, and we did really exceptionally well, an 88, so we only missed 3. So I was very happy about that. But I'd say outside of that stuff, I also started to work a job, which, aside from the job on campus, aside the job from campus, aside from, doing the podcast and things like that, and obviously doing the photography stuff here and there, that I need to get another job just because of the fact that money was a bit tight, and your boy needs some cash because, well, it's kind of the downside of being a college kid, and, well, you already have all these job offers and things like that lined up, and it just kind of sucks because, well, you don't got any money, And in many ways, I've been frustrated, I've been annoyed, I've been dealing and struggling with that, if I'm being honest with you. And it's been bothering me, if I'm being honest with you. I've been stressed, I've been anxious, I've been, how would you say? I've been so focused on just trying to stay afloat, if that resonates with some of y'all. And that's, I've always said that's the point of the Real Talks, is to be honest, to be open about a lot of these things, about these struggles. And yeah, like, it eats me up on the inside knowing that it's like, hey, money won't necessarily be a big issue once you start your career. You'll have real money. You'll be able to, manage your finances better and things like that, just because, well, yes, people always say, well, manage your money. Well, you don't have money. So it's like, yeah, I get that. But at least they'll be more comfortable when you actually have real money and you can start paying off all your debts. You can start, building, investing, and you can start doing other stuff because, well, I'll just be honest with you guys, it doesn't help the fact that I also got a dog here too that I got to feed, get his medicine, and, et cetera, et cetera. And the fact that, I still have all my student debt. I've had to go into debt because of my classes, because they have us buying like $200 plus access codes. And it's like, it kind of stinks when you have to see your bank account go red a couple times and your parents have to bail you out. And I'll be honest with you guys, it sucks. It kind of hurts. And I kind of wish that things didn't have to be that way, Because yes, I understand, like, my parents, they want to be there to support me. They, encourage me. Like, obviously the name of the game is like, look, homie, we have sacrificed so much to get you to the point where you can graduate and start your career. I get it. And I think it's still a bit hard just because of the fact that I know the situation that my parents are in. And, like, a lot of the commentary that my dad has made when it comes to me and life after college, that my dad is finally planning on retiring. Because if you guys aren't aware, or if you weren't aware of this fun fact, my dad's turning 85 this year. And my dad, we've always debated if he really would retire, just because of the fact that we know how he is, because he comes from the time period that my father came from, and the culture and things like that, where, there's no such thing as retiring, essentially. It's just work until you finally die. But my dad seemed pretty adamant that he really is pushing for this idea of me finally getting my job, getting my career started, so that I can finally take over, And it does put a lot of weight on my shoulders. It does, it puts a lot of emphasis on graduate, focus, get to the very end, do what you have to do. And, it just kind of stings, because you want to be at that position already, but you can't because you have to finish all the school stuff first. And you obviously want real money to help pay off all these debts. And it's like, well, you don't got it right now, homie. And in many ways, I've just become more and more frustrated with, with this stuff, with like the waiting game, essentially, which, patience is a virtue, clearly. And I know this is something that I have to work on a little bit more. It's just being patient for these opportunities. It's like, hey, bud, it's already there. You just have to wait, And it sucks, if I'm being honest with you. And, obviously with the new job, with the job that I'm working, and, the people are very nice. They're very, like, chill. I like talking with them. I like interacting with them. And, it's a nice experience, to be honest with you. Like, another thing, too, that I've also started doing is helping out with a nonprofit in town. and helping them. Essentially, the TLDR in this case is, there's a consulting group here on campus. They're basically just a group of seniors and a bunch of other I wouldn't say other majors, but other classifications, like sophomores, juniors, and things like that, to essentially help work with local businesses or local brands in Lubbock to help expand their social media presence and essentially build them up so they can have an even bigger following and things like that, get more influence, et cetera, et cetera. And in this case, we're working with a nonprofit that is dedicated towards running a year-round basketball program where essentially the name of the game is the person that started a year-round basketball program to help children in the Lubbock community, because in a lot of the lower income areas, it's been more and more apparent that a lot of children are turning to a life of crime and becoming gangbangers and drug dealers. And essentially this person decided to run a year-round basketball program to help give the children an avenue to express themselves in more positive ways, and basically by playing basketball, whether it be team bonding, team building, leadership, but also serving as a mentorship opportunity as well for these children so that they have the chance of not having to resort to those ways of life, that they're given another choice, that they're not just condemned to only do this just because it's what their friends or their family have done and things like that. But like the fact that they are given the opportunity to, hey, you don't have to live this way. You're not stuck here. Like, you're given a choice. And I find it very beautiful, and it really resonated with me, if I'm being honest with you. And it's one of the reasons why I started helping them as well and wanted to work with them. And same time, it's also helping me because it's helping me get more photography gigs and things like that. So now the money is flowing a little bit more consistently with that as well. And to me, well, yes, there has been some lows. I'll be honest with you guys. Of course, a lot of stuff is still going to be on my mind. Like, obviously, the dating scene is still there. And obviously that stuff is, not the best, if I'm being honest with you. We're still working on that, but it doesn't matter, because to me, well, yes, like, people can say, well, Josh, you're about to graduate. Shouldn't you, kind of focus a little bit on trying to find someone and things like that? And I'm like, well, yeah, I understand that sentiment, but I'm also like, to me, I'm more focused on graduating, finishing my degree, because that's why I came here, Like, it would be foolish of me to, I'd say, take away my focus from what I was here to essentially, it doesn't make any sense to take away my focus from the thing that I'm here to do and focus on something that may or may not work out, And it's one of those things where I'm just like, here we are. And yes, obviously that stuff is still going to bother me. I'll be honest with you. It still is. But I know that everything will be okay. Like, yes, I'll be honest with you. I'm a little bit stressed. I'm anxious, dealing with all this stuff of like, what is life going to look like after college? Can we hurry up and get to that part so we can get that real money, doing interviews and things like that. Those stuff, like interviews and stuff, are coming up right now. And it's just, there's a lot going on. But at the same time, I also acknowledge that, hey, yes, things are hard. No one ever said they would be easy. But there is always hope for tomorrow. That every day is a new day filled with own blessings, with joy, with opportunities. And that, well, yes, we don't ignore the current realities and the challenges that we're facing right now, but rather address them head on, acknowledge them as real, and work through them. And eventually get to the point where you're not being consumed by them. And to be honest with you guys, yeah. The show, I've always said, doing the show has always been my avenue to express myself, to relieve a lot of these feelings of anxiety, of stress, that doing the show has allowed me to really just, speak what's on my mind. And in many ways, I feel like it's good that we do this life update just so you guys know where I'm at, what I'm going through, what I'm struggling with. You know, if you want to pray for me, then you know how to pray for me if that's your prerogative. But at the end of the day, yes, has life been hard? Yes, it has been. Has it been challenging? Absolutely. Has school been challenging? Yes, absolutely. But there's still been so many opportunities of beauty in there woven in, whether it be the nonprofit things, whether it be taking my friend to his first job fair, or in this case, the first business job fair, so that he can see that there are more opportunities out there, that he's not stuck to only this one way of doing things. And finding new opportunities to help people, to encourage people that are going through similar things that I've been through or currently dealing with, and helping people really improve their life. Because in many ways, that's just what I've always liked doing, what I always want to do, is to truly help get the most out of everyone, that everyone can truly, that everyone has the choice to not be complacent, to separate themselves from bad situations, bad people, that you are always given the choice. It's just, do you want things to be better? And in many ways, I have to take my own advice, and look for the better days ahead. Focus on the better days ahead. Yes, acknowledge the current realities, but also hold hope and remain firm on it that yes, everything will be okay. Maybe not right now, maybe not in the next week, but in time, it'll be okay. And I just wanted to have this little slice of life update and just really express what I've been going through, what's on my mind, what I've been processing, dealing with, and also, hey, basically show you guys that, well, we're back up and running on the show. And next week we'll be talking about a lot of tech goodies and stuff like that, because there's a lot going on. Not only just in the month of February, but even in the month of March too. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I thank you guys for at least being patient with me, for sticking around. I know this is the new episode that we've had in a while now, and I look forward to more episodes, to be honest with you guys, because let's be real, the year's only just started, and well, we got a lot of ground to cover, so let's cover that ground. But again, thank you guys so much for everything. Really, I do appreciate it. And I will have a surprise for you guys pretty shortly, maybe on next week's episode, that you guys will get to see the little surprise. But until next time, guys, I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week and weekend. Please don't do anything dumb, y'all. Please be safe out there. I know this week has been probably crazy and hectic for a lot of people. And to be honest, these past couple weeks have probably been crazy and hectic for a lot of people. But I just want to be that person that's like, give you hope and say, I know it's hard. No one has ever said that these things would be easy, but there are always better days ahead. So let's focus on them. Acknowledge the current realities, but remain hopeful for the days to come. But I'll leave you guys with that. Hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Hey there. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and listening to today's episode. If you're interested in supporting the show, whether it be financially, clicking the follow button, or just sharing the episode, it all works for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I love you guys to death.